Joyful Child Yarn, and today I'd like to talk about sexually transmitted diseases. Well, or infections. Let's look at the word sexually transmitted, yeah, but infections. So we've all got, like if you've ever had a Metatron scan or some sort of scan that shows you how many little different microbiology features are there, it's quite remarkable. There's so much it's ridiculous. I've been 5 years detoxing and I still find it stuff. So now my nervous and immune system is getting down to my sacral gland, so I'm finding what's in that area for the hormones that are secreting. So it's kind of like a spider web that is expanding out, and as you get more strength and more power in this particular area, as you clean little bits and pieces and get rid of more and more, then you might find virus A and B and C has gone up to J all of a sudden. In realize, because you've got more power to find out, identify it for the brain, for the nervous system, to take it on for the immune system to kick in to get. So it's kind of like Thor's hammer. So if Thor comes down and goes, poof, smashes out 10 viruses, and then there's all of a sudden another 20 come in. You've got that extra capacity and extra awareness and extra power to take them on. That's first of all, sexually transmitted is a poor term. These things that it's both partners have to have it because they're both drawn to each other. So there's a mutual attraction for a similar microbiology. It doesn't sound very nice, but this is kind of how it works. You'll notice if you've done some cleansing and detoxing or started some yoga or started improving yourself, then there can be created distance between some friends or some family members because you're operating at a higher vibration with a slightly different microbiology. You'll notice that, perfect example is some friends are like, if you've got identical twins, they are the perfect testing ground for so many things. So if you have one person who starts taking the natural health path and improving their nutrition, doing yoga and detoxing and things like this, another person doesn't, you can quickly see the differences in their face, their skin, their structure, their outlook, their perception, and also who they're attracted to, and their relationship changes the dynamic between them. Yeah. It's fascinating because this is microbiology. You are what you eat, you are what you focus on, you are what you absorb, you are what you feed in your microbiology. And that attracts both the opposite and similar. So, for instance, like it's obviously when you're making of the love sexually transmitted, it's beautiful, we're loving that. But it's when all of our systems are enlivened, and that's when it's a great huge detox, and that's a great huge spiritual practice done well. Then it's not really transmitted, it's just come out, and both partners have it. Because even if you go for, say, what I call matrix testing, so if you go to the doctor and they do an STI, it's a very minute test. It only picks up 5 different things that they're testing for. I mean, when you get into microbiology and the gut microbiome, there's thousands of different creatures, things that are there. So, and externally blaming your partner for giving you this disease, for the feminine, yin magnet attracted it, drawn it in to go up the whole system to clear this from the system. For the man, more yang usually, so he's giving, but he also has it as well, and then we get it through physical contact. It's just microbiology. Look, I'm touching algae here. There's an energetic transfer, there's a law of polarity. It happens. So if we externally blame our partner, our relationship is not going to go that well. It's not going to help. But if we accept our partner, accept the situation that we've both got it, and we both look for a solution to fix and heal this, then you can both learn and grow together and expand and improve. And then especially, get rid of that and heal that so we don't have to pass that on to our children, most importantly. So, for me, if I have friends and clients come to me and they say they want to have children, I say I want 2 years, maybe 3, to get you clean and purified and get a quality body, ideally with a high level of spiritual development, so then you don't pass all our imbalances onto your children and then essentially have a devil child. Because all of the imbalances and then reproducing externally will be presented in front of you to deal with those same microbiology and the same imbalances externally in a child. Yeah, it's called reincarnation, new life. Usually it's from the person who has a reproductive system that is in average condition and needs to externally reproduce because it can't take care of its own entity. Notice it in low socioeconomic areas, people have children at a much earlier age and their body is in a terrible condition. That microbiology itself needs to reproduce because there are many, many parts of us that are inhuman that the brain is unable to take on, and we don't know how much is there. And what I've recently understood, that most people are coming from an emotional 3-year-old child from growths in the large intestine at their base, and then there's grown a microbiology environment around that, but that's just the cause of who they actually still are and what level they're actually at. And the reason I can understand this is I'm getting to that area and taking it apart. It's much like a spider. So, I'm sure how many people, I've known people who, we all want a loving connection. We all come from a place of insecurity with a weak lower spine, most people. And as a result, that environment is shared with that person. So how many times have you had someone I know people who have had their partner, they say they're infected with the herpes virus. First of all, they both had it because we all have a lot of viruses in an area. There's essentially, let's face it, our reproductive system is what? And the nervous system on the spine especially is about an inch or two away from the coccyx. That's where all our shit is. And how many people have muscle down here without any extra little bit? Very few. So that's all toxic microbiology, and all our heavy, dense, yucky stuff falls to that area. And I can tell you, after being onto this sort of stuff and removing it from myself, there's a lot of deep, dark, evil stuff there, and it's all based on insecurity. So I know people who, like we all know friends or someone in our world that will have a really toxic person or relationship with, and they keep attracting them, reproducing with their yin magnet, or they're externalizing with the yang magnet. Yeah, you know those people, right? They can't help themselves. It's their microbiology, and until they improve themselves in a particular area of the body, they will keep reducing that and making it worse, and reproducing the same sort of partner. Most of the time, they'll go through their imbalances in their nervous system in their body, and they'll end up what I call, if they've got a poor spleen, they'll end up motherfucking or fatherfucking. Whether they see it is another story. They usually ask their friends, oh well, hang on, this reminds me of my relationship with my dad, or my relationship with my mum. I did it. The key is, you need to fix the liver and gallbladder and fix up the gut, so then you don't reproduce that same system and that same experience and that same existence lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. It's not lifetime, it's reproduction of a new entity after a new entity after a new entity. That's what we call childbirth, or a lineage for our ancestry. You're going to break that cycle and actually become yourself and ideally an awakened enlightened being. Reproductive system fixing up is absolutely essential. But ideally you want to move down the body. And you need guidance for this because people don't have a guidance system. Apparently there's 2 in Sydney, 2,000 on the planet. We can do with a few more. So, let's have some more beautiful spiritual making of love practices that is clean and pure, so we can actually have a beautiful, long, loving relationship and connections. Good love.